Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at Fire King, and I've been slowly pulling cards from the pack to see if I can craft the deck, and I did pull a lot of cards, but it's a lot of URs for this deck, so here we are. But instead of for the last pack with the Mermails and all the punk cards, I just pretty much spent all my gems pulling for this pack. One, because they got updated and now it's in the Roused from Destruction, which also has Unchained. So it was a bit of a 2-for-1 because I will be playing Unchained next week or at some point. So I was like, I need more Yamas, I need more Shivaras, and I don't even have Abomination. So I pretty much spent all my gems on this pack. So if you want to build Fire King and Unchained, that's a good pack. But let's get into the list. So we have 2 Veilers, 2 Drolls, 3 Ponix, which is your main searcher, 2 Maxx, 3 Ash, Barong, Arvata, which is your monster negate. This is a search on their turn. And then we have Rang Bali, which is a spell and trap negate. We have Ulcanix, which is a very good starter, and she's basically full combo. And then we have the OG Garunix with the new Garunix, and we'll talk a bit about them in the combo section. But basically, if a fire is destroyed, you can special from your hand or graveyard, and then he can pop a Fire King card from your deck, which is usually Kirin. Then when Kirin's just destroyed, he can special summon a Fire King from your hand or grave, and then you can pop a card on the field. It's a lot of interactions with your opponent, a lot of back and forth, which is why I wanted to craft the deck. It's a lot of fun. And then it's also like Unchained Shivara, where you can pop a card on your board. This one has to be a fire type, and then you can special summon him. So it helps you dodge hand traps, essentially. We have 2 Nibiru because nobody really respects Nibiru. We have 2 Island, Fire King Island, which is your field spell that searches. Sanctuary, which sets up the field spell. And then it has the other effect where it protects you from being destroyed. And then it has a third effect where if your opponent special summons a monster, you can immediately, after this effect resolve, Xyz summon. So you go into Garunix Eternity, which is a dark hole. And then we have 2 called by. We have Skyburner, which is just pops up to the monsters you have. Triple Impermanence, and then triple Impulse. So that'll be it for the main deck. Let's look at the extra deck. And we have the Garunix, the Typhon, the Linkaribo, the Almirage, the Phoenix, the Wolf, Sunlight Wolf, the Hida, IP, Little Knight, Heat Soul, Promethean Princess, Amblo Whale, Zelantis, and Raging Phoenix for the OTK, and then Goddess. The deck doesn't need a lot of cards, the extra deck. Like, you don't have to play Goddess, you don't have to play Almirage, but you know, you can just put in whatever you need there in that situation. You really only need the Promethean, the Amblo Whale, the OTK cards, the Sunlight Wolf. It's a lot of utility cards, right? We have the Phoenix for popping. Sometimes summon Heat to get a monster back. Heat Soul to draw cards. So yeah. So that'll be it for the deck. Let's get to some combos and then some replays after. This will be the Fire King Ponix 1 card, and this combo's good if you just bricked, or you have a lot of hand traps, or you don't really have another play. This comes up a lot because you recycle him throughout the entire duel. So you normal summon, you add the Sanctuary. Let's just pretend we don't have a hand. other than in the Ash. And even then, it won't matter here. Activate the Sanctuary, and then which activates Fire King Island. Now you pop the Ponix, and you can add the King Garunix. His effect activates to special summon himself. Then he can pop a card from your deck or your hand. So normally you would pop. You have different options. You can pop Ulcanix, and then she can special summon the OG Garunix, and then go into a rank 8, which is how you would play like a different variation of the deck with like Zombie Vampire. Or if you, like I said, if you don't have anything and just have hand traps, you just pop the Baron, and that's pretty much your turn. A lot of your interactions happen on their turn. So during their standby phase, you add the Ponix. Baron searches for Kieran, and then Kieran is his own interaction. So you can activate Kieran, pop the Ponix that we got back for free. He gets special summoned to the field, and then you have Sanctuary. So when your opponent special summons a monster, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, Xyz summon. So you use the Kieran and the Garunix to go into a Garunix Eternity, and when you Xyz summon, he nukes the whole board. And then when they finish their turn, on your standby phase, you get the Ponix back. And that's pretty much all the interactions for this combo. That's all off one Ponix. Let's check out another combo. This would be the Nibiru Combo, so you don't get Nibiru'd, and we just need Ponix and Arvata. So, like every combo, you special the normal summon the Ponix, add the Sanctuary, which then will activate the field spell. You then link off into Karibo, and now you activate the field spell to pop the Arvata. That's 2 summons. You add the Garunix and activate the Arvata to bring back the Ponix, and then you activate the Garunix in hand. So that's 2 summons. This will be 3, and then this will be 4. And then now Garunix will activate to pop the Kieran. Kieran will then bring back Arvata. And then now you're Nibiru proof. And then with these 2, you can go into just a Little Knight or a Hida, or even Sunlight Wolf, or we'll just do a Little Knight for the disruption. And then that'll be your turn. Well, Nibiru proof. And at the end of the turn, Arvata will destroy him. And then on their standby phase, you'll get him back. So now you're Nibiru proof. So that'll be it for that combo. Let's see other combos. This will be 1 card Ulcanix Combo, and you just need her and 1 fire monster. So I guess it's a 2 card or 1.5, however you view it. So you normal summon, you pop the Kieran, just for an example, and then you add the Ponix, and then you activate the Ponix special summon itself. You add the Sanctuary, and then you can activate the field spell afterwards. So Sanctuary, activate the field spell. Now you pop the Ulcanix to add the Garunix. So Ulcanix is Chainlink 1, Garunix is Chainlink 2. So you special summon both Garunix, the new Garunix and then the OG. And then the new one will pop a card from your deck, which is Arvata, which is Monster Negate. And then here you will special summon your Ulcanix. So at this point you can get Nibiru, so keep that in mind. But let's just pretend they don't have anything, just for the combo purpose. Here you can go either Sunline Wolf if you discarded an opponent card at the beginning of the combo, like an Ash. And it also depends on the point in the game you're at, so adding a Kirin might be good. But we're just gonna go for maximum disruption. So IP, link off whichever two. So if you would have went Sunlight Wolf, you would then link off the Ponix to a Karibo, and that would trigger the Sunlight Wolf to add a card. But we're going Princess here, and then she will bring back the Arbata, and there she goes. And now you link off into an Amblowell, and this is your typical. This is what you strive for every turn, or at least at the beginning of the duel. Turn 1, Amblowell plus a Arvata, which is a monster negate. So I'm gonna kind of tell you the sequence, so hopefully you can visualize it. We go Arvata to pop the Amblowell. Amblowell brings back the IP, which then you can make into a Little Knight. But Ulcanix will also special summon himself from the grave, and then he can pop another card, which is most likely going to be Kirin. Kirin then can special summon a Fire King and then pop another card. So you special summon the Ulcanix, and then you pop another card, another fire monster, and then you can search for something. It's usually another Kirin. Follow up next turn. And then you can, and you still have Promethean Princess in the grave. So that's it for the main combo. Let's check out some replays. So hopefully I can showcase it here. I wasn't going to because the Monarch bot doesn't really special summon, so should have picked a different bot, but sometimes they do. So let's see if we can interact with them. So he's doing his thing. Add the field spell. Sometimes they do special summon, but it's very often they don't. So we normals. I negate Darvata. Here I pop the Amblowell. And then both of these activate, so Amblowell brings back the IP, and then Ulcanix comes back. So Ulcanix comes back to the field. Amblowell brings back IP. Ulcanix then activates to destroy your Kirin. And Kirin will activate to bring back Ulcanix. And I can pop a card, so we'll pop the field spell. Ulcanix then activates to pop the fire monster. So we can pop the Arvata because we don't need it anymore. And then we can add a Ponix. So add that. And then Arvata from the grave activates, bring back another monster. We can just bring back the Kirin here. And then the Ponix in our hand triggers. So you can see how much interaction goes on. So you special that. Arvata brings back the Kirin. Ponix searches for Skyburn. And then here, let's talk a bit about what's going on here. We still have the IP, so let's just do that right now. Here goes Little Knight, and then just do these two. Head effect activates, banish that. And then we still have the Kirin and the Ulcanix. So with Sanctuary, you can XC summon into a rank 8. So you use these two, if they do more, and then it nukes the whole board. So those are pretty much all the interactions. Let's check out some replays. So let's look at a couple of replays. Here's the first one, and we're playing against Punk. He summons Kashtira. I draw here. He banishes my princess, which is fine. He goes Baron, so I just save the Imperm for my turn. And then he has the new card, Rising Scale, and he just passes. So he basically has Baron, a Unicorn. He can Synchro Summon with this, so, and that's a lot on just, especially after being drolled. So here I impermanence the Baron, so I saved it. I have the island. He has the Ash I called by, which is fine because now I can destroy my own Ash. So here I go Garunix. He banishes Emblowell, and Fire King doesn't really need an extra deck. So let's go back here. I destroy the Ulcanix because she can summon the OG Garunix. And here my thought process is, okay, I need to deal with all his monsters and then Birth. And my only option really is to go Eternity, which is a Dark Hole, and then he can also pop spells and traps, like attachment material. So that was essentially my game plan. He then synchros off into Amazing Dragon, which just bounces one card. Here I chain the Garunix. Now I go into my rank 8. I try to nuke the board, but he has Imperm. And then here I'm just like, okay, well you have Imperm, Baron, Ash, even after being drolled, so it's like, okay. So I enter the battle phase. I still need to clear his monsters. So when Garunix is destroyed, while it has materials, you can special summon Fire King monsters up to the materials. He had 2 materials, so he brings back himself and another one. I brought back King Garunix. Like I said, I wanted to get over both his monsters, so once again I crash. And now we're in a simplified game state. He does have Birth, so I need to kind of deal with that. So he brings it back and passes. I'm like, okay. I draw the Impulse, so I'm like, yeah, that's good. I can stop the Birth one next turn. I have the Ponix. He banishes again. I pop 2. King of Runix activates from the graveyard. Now he has Maxx, so he has everything. So pop the Kirin, and then it lets me revive a Fire King. So I bring back Huang, and then I can pop a monster or a card. Pop the Birth, and now I just go for the attack for the game. So you showcased a lot of what Kirin can do, kind of the how much disruption you can play through. So let's watch another replay. Here we have another replay. I'm going first. My opponent Maxx. So this is a really good play under Maxx. With Ponix, you Ponix, you add a Sanctuary, you add the field spell, you pop. It's on the example portion of the video. Summon the Garunix, you pop Barong, and then you pass. And then on their standby phase, you would add Ponix, but he called by it. But Barong can still add Kirin. Here you add Kirin because you can pop a card in your hand to special the Kirin, and then when they special summon, you can Xyz into the Dark Hole and Garunix Eternity. But he didn't do anything, so just pass. So it's back to me. He activates Macrocosmo and another Maxx. I'm like, okay. The deck doesn't care about Maxx, so you just slow play basically. Summon the Ulcanix. Don't activate the effect. You don't want your quest to get banished. You pop her with the island to add Ponix, because again, you can just Kirin pop Ponix and continue like that. But he does have macro, so it's back to him. He passes. He doesn't have anything. That's fine. Here, I normal summon Ponix, you add the Skyburn. Here you can pop 2. And that's essentially how you deal with these trap heavy decks. And then you just FFs. So, that was a good showcase on how to play under Maxx. So, this will be the last video, and I'm going second. And here we have Maxx and Valor against Blue Eyes. So many Blue Eyes. So, he does a typical Maiden into True Light, set the wishes, normal summon. And then he goes into Spirit. I have the Valor, so I negate it. He roars, I Maxx that, and I can draw a card. And then it's my turn. So he has Wish It or True Light, Maiden in the Grave, Blue Eyes, and 2 face downs. So I'll draw the Kieran, which is really good here. Here, summon Ponix, he Valors it. I activate Skyburn so I can dodge the Valor. So pop the True Light, he has another Valor. And then luckily I have Kieran, so Kieran can also help you dodge. And then he activates True Light because it's going to get destroyed. So he sets the ultimate fusion, my Kieran comes back, the Skyburner pops off, destroys the True Light, and I can still get my search off. Then True Light destroys, he has Majesty. I was like, okay, this guy has a card in his hand. So he pops it. It was just a bait though, because I have the island already. So I activate the island. He has the Purge. I was like, okay, he has even more stuff. And then he does have a trap card in the grave, so it gets destroyed. And then when island gets destroyed, all your monsters do. Now I slow this down. So when Kieran gets destroyed, I can special a monster. So I summon the Ulcanix, then I destroy her to then get Avatar Garunix. And I do this because when he's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you special summon a Fire King. So this is kind of a follow-up for next turn. So I'll showcase it right now. So it's his turn. I get my Ponix back. And then he goes Ultimate Fusion, summon Tyrant. That's gonna be a problem because he can set traps. So he gets his Majesty, and I get my monster. I summon Garunix, pop the Kieran, and then he forfeits because I'll be bringing back my probably Ulcanix, so I can destroy the Ponix, so I can get a search, and then I can pop a card on the field, which is his Tyrant Dragon or the Majesty, and then Ponix will reset next turn. So at that point, he ran out of resources and had a scoop. So that'll be it for the last replay. Let's talk a bit about the deck. That was it for the deck profile, the replays, and the combo section of the video. So now let's talk a bit about the deck. And so the deck's, I think it's good. It's not like tier 1, but it's probably like a tier 2, 2.5. The deck can get better if you do add the Snake Eye cards, which I'll have a video for that as well, or even the Azamina cards, so I'll have a video for that as well. But it's good with just without him, to be honest. You can play Impulse, which is really good. I wouldn't say it's like the best in the meta right now, but starting special summons is really good. And then yeah, you can play a lot of hand traps. So you got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus the 6 traps, 17. The only big problem is you do brick a lot because you have these high level monsters, which is why I'm playing the triple sanctuary, so you can have island at all times. And then Ponix is a good combo starter. Ulcanix is essentially the full combo by herself, and another fire monster. With Sunlight Wolf, you can always bring back your Ash. or your Kirins. That does happen. Your end board with Ambler Whale and Arvata is really good. It's a lot of interactions. Couldn't showcase it in the replay section because of hand traps and stuff, but if you do get it off, it's really good. It does help the deck a lot. You can adjust the extra deck. You don't really need Heat Soul. You don't need Goddess. You don't need Amirage. You can maybe play a second one of those if you'd like. I already crafted like 500 UR cards, so I don't really want to keep crafting more. But like I said, you essentially have 3 extra slots. I think some people play Fucho. I forgot what it's called. Is it Fucho? Yeah, this guy. 2 level 1s, and the way you summon him is with Ulcanix, so she can change level to whatever you add. So when you add the Ponix, you can make her level 1, and then get Ponix on the field somehow, and then you make Fucho. And then he was really prevalent when Tenpai was the best deck, because it's unaffected by other card effects. And then detach once per turn. You can detach 2 materials for the rest of the turn. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no battle damage. But since Tenpai is kind of not that relevant, you can you don't have to play it, but you can. It's up to you. And then Kirin, it's a really insane card. Does a lot. Helps you pop cards, dodge spells and traps, targeting effects, and you can pop a card. So, and then we got Skyburner, which also does the same thing. Like I saw in the video, trap decks kind of just fall apart because you start popping everything. So that'll be it for the deck. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.